Okay, welcome everybody to another session of our COVID Crisis Comeback Challenge Sunday Alumni Mastermind. Welcome everybody. All right, as promised, tonight we are going to discuss embracing your worthiness. Now, why would we even have a discussion about embracing your worthiness? Maybe because we've discovered that oftentimes we draw opportunities to us after doing really good introspection, really good self-assessment, really good identifying of congruent goals, really good developing of plans. We're working with the energetics to draw opportunities to us, but then all of a sudden we encounter paradigms, we encounter programs within our brain, within our minds, we encounter fears, we encounter all kinds of things that cause us to doubt as we're getting closer to the finish line in a particular opportunity. We doubt, do I really deserve this? Am I smart enough? Have I done enough work? Have I been a good person? All of these doubts come about, and suddenly we can energetically block the opportunity from becoming a reality. So tonight I wanted to discuss this, and I'm going to throw that question out to you. We'll have a little discussion. And then we're going to do a little bit of what I call the hot seat, where you'll have the opportunity to ask a question or give a viewpoint about worthiness. And I will kind of work with you on it and see if we can make some progress. And then we're going to move into small group discussion. And then we'll come out and we will do our kind of recap. So let's get started with that. And my first question to the group, and I'm going to unmute you. My first question to the group is, why do you feel we might feel unworthy after having done all the work to have a positive outcome in our goal achievement process? Why do you think that happens? Go ahead and unmute yourself, and we'll do one person at a time. Johanna, okay, you raised your hand, so we'll start with you, Jojo.
Yes.
What's the scoop?
Well, for me, it's mainly sometimes things from the past, that block the flow. I kind of consider myself understanding, and I value myself more often than not. But sometimes things from the past kind of creep in there and kind of blocks the flow, so to speak. I know what to do. I kind of know what to do. I mean, but yeah. For me, that's the main thing.
Okay, so you said you know what to do. So could you enlighten us on techniques that you use to deal with that pattern or that audio tape from the past that is coming and sticking its nose in your business here? What is a technique you use to deal with that? I'm interested.
Well, mainly I chant a word, so I use mantra. I do that, and I do spiritual practice, so I do those, journal. And since I've been taking this course, the 9 steps, as well as the masterminds, I love the inner ballroom technique. It's almost like my go-to thing now. So I combine going into the inner ballroom and checking in with all the VPs and see who's not in line. Sometimes I cannot identify which part of me is off. Not sure if it's the memory or the mental, but I go there, you know, and I bring my spiritual guides, and that helps. I mean, I can, even if the answer doesn't come clearly with the journal, you know, doing the journal every day, when I set up my goal, I get an answer, or I can see clearly. Let's just put it that way.
Great. Wonderful. So in line with that, we can understand that if first of all, to have the wisdom to be able to look at the situation and say, this is something that I want to work on. I don't want to give up. I don't want to surrender to this thing. I want to work through the experience because I know that I can move forward and I know that there's something in there for me. And so I always recommend that when we run into something like that, there's a reason we run into something like that. And that is we have something to learn from it that we can use in our toolbox for success. So one technique we've done in the past, and we'll bring this up again, is to be able to go into the inner boardroom and take that voice, that fear, that sense of unworthiness, whatever it is, personify it by giving it form, bringing it into the boardroom, and doing that exercise where we invite it in. It's somebody that looks just like us because it is a part of us. We invite it in, we welcome it, we let it know that we already recognize it as a valuable part of ourselves that's there for us to learn from. Would you do me the favor of explaining to me what is behind this feeling of unworthiness? What are you trying to teach me about my worthiness, about my power, about my ability to achieve this goal? What is this hesitation? What is this, feeling of unworthiness? Where is it coming from, number one? Number two, what is it trying to teach me? And number three, how can I bring it into balance, right? And listen to that part of you speak to you about why it's there. Okay. For example, if we were attempting to start a venture, let's say we were attempting to start a business, and as we were getting close to a particular part of our activities in starting that, we suddenly are overcome by fear of, I'm going to blow this. I'm not going to be able to make this a successful. Well, why is that? Well, I tried something some years ago and it didn't work. Okay, and what was it about that experience that was a problem for you, or a negative experience, or why are you carrying that into the present? Well, it made me feel really weak that I wasn't able to make that work. Okay. Can you describe to me a time when you made something else work? Well, yeah, I've had 10 jobs in the past that I did really well at, right? Well, what was it about what you did that caused you to be successful? Well, I'm really organized. I'm really passionate. I really love helping people. I really am very good with my time management. And you start listing all of the things that prove you were able to be successful in something else. And then you stop and you're listing those things. Then we want to look at, well, could you not apply those same things into being successful in this situation? Yes or yes? Yes, I could, right? So what we're doing here is we are taking the fear and we are moving away from it by recognizing we have transferable skills, confidence, abilities right? And that can give us the transferable confidence. And then we have a conversation with this feeling of doubt, and we ask it, what are some of the positive things I can learn from this? Right? And it might say, look, you just listed all of these great strengths and great successes you had. I've been trying to get you to value that. I've been trying to get you to understand that even though you're doing something new, you have talents in the past you can bring into the present and the future, right? Or I'm trying to get you to give yourself more credit, trying to get you to work on developing your self-confidence. So this is my way of you facing that. Just like when we have a nightmare, right? Remember, we've learned in our work with our dreams that nightmares are not something to avoid. Nightmares are not something that's bad. Nightmares are really, really positive and useful because they get us to put attention on a fear that is possibly holding us back from making forward progress. And so we shift our viewpoint about a nightmare. They're not something to avoid. It's a signal to pay attention and learn from the nightmare. And with kids, when we were raising our two boys, when they had a nightmare, we asked them to talk to the monster and ask, what gift do you have for me? And we would do this before they went to bed. And then after a while, they would start using that. And then when the monster was chasing them, instead of running away, they would stop, look at the monster and say, what gift do you have for me? And the monster would stop and give them a gift. Say, I'm here to help you deal with your fear. Maybe it was a fear of a class that was difficult, or fear of a bully that was bothering them, or whatever it was. When we turn and face the fear, when we turn and face that feeling of insecurity and that feeling of a lack of confidence, there's always a gift there. And always one of the gifts is an opportunity to see just how much you have to offer, just how powerful you are, right? Just as how experienced you are and talented and creative you are. And when we embrace those things, they far outweigh the unworthiness, right? Most of the time, it's programs and it's conversations from the past chirping in our ear, right? And they're usually the voices of someone else in the past saying, oh, you're just not smart enough. You're just not talented in that area. You should be doing this other thing. You don't have what it takes to do it, right? No. I'm not listening to that anymore. Number one, you have no place in my consciousness and in my present, right? I had to listen to you in the past. I don't have to listen to you now. And number two, I've grown and I have all kinds of wonderful experiences and I have all kinds of wonderful tools now that I didn't have then. So does not apply in this present, does not apply in my reality right now. Right? But thank you. You taught me something. And you inspired me to stand up for myself. You inspired me to challenge you. You inspired me to take a look at what I do have to offer. And that's what I'm putting my attention on. Does that make sense? Thank you, Jojo. Thank you for inspiring us. Okay, I have a hand up from Marvin. Let's bring Marvin into the hot seat. Da, 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 da. Marvin.
So, in addition to what Jojo said, because I ditto what she said about spiritual practice and mantras and like that. I find that I'm a lot happier now that I focus on positive things. I've added a bunch of meditations to my repertoire of things that I do. Things from health symposiums that my wife and I have been watching, and things that help me focus on the high points in my life when I need it. I've had several victorious high points in my life, which I can go back to when I find my mind wanting to dredge up old crap. Like, the wounds from childhood when my mother was in the hospital with rheumatic fever.
Yep.
My father was at work and blah, they had that la 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 and all that stuff. It's not very useful to dwell there. It just brings out all that lack of worthiness and all that, and that's, like you said, it's all in the past.
Yeah. So give me 3 strengths that you've discovered over the last 2 years.
The ability to refocus my brain onto something very positive and victorious.
What's another one? That's awesome. What's another one?
The ability to get over my fears about dealing with people in relationship and just go for it.
Go for it. Awesome. What's the third one?
The ability to see the wonderment in people versus, my critic or whatever used to be there about whatever. The ability just to see the gorgeous beauty of people.
That is really profound and powerful because oftentimes when we feel we are being judged and criticized, it actually is calling to attention on how much we judge and criticize ourselves and others, right? And when we shift from criticizing and judging to complimenting and seeing the beauty, right? Recognizing the positive in others, we begin to be more comfortable and capable of recognizing that in ourselves. And then finally, what I want to say is, whenever you dig up the old crap, use it as fertilizer. When you find yourself digging up old crap, use it as fertilizer. And I mean that literally as well as figuratively. And I'll leave that to you to work out the details. But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even the old crap can be used as fertilizer to plant the new opportunities, and it will grow from that fertilizer, right? It'll grow from that. It will feed it. So it's never wasted. There is nothing that is purely negative, and there's nothing that's purely positive here in these lower realms of vibration. Everything and anything can be used as an opportunity to learn and grow. And that's what we're trying to do here. Right?
Yes, thank you very much.
Oh, awesome. Thank you for sharing those 3 important realizations and how to turn old crap into new fertilizer.
I like that.
Yeah. It's my twist on when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. When life gives you old crap, make fertilizer. All right, Jocelyn.
Yes.
Let's put Jocelyn in the seat. There she is. Yay.
Yeah. In fact, I experienced it this morning before I delivered. I read something that was saying the past is over. The past is over. Just forget about the past and work on issues in the moment. The thing is, from early childhood, the conditioning of I had to face and negotiate with adults that were pretty aggressive and unbalanced. And that generated a fear of standing up and bringing my voice, especially to authorities or if I'm in a position to be judged. So now, as you said earlier, I said to that thing, I had to listen to you in the past, because what was your value in the past? This was protecting me, you see, just to be what I was in that moment and try to negotiate peacefully and all of that, because it was survival. But now this protection is not needed anymore. So there's no reason to cut it off with fear, with hesitation, with just anything, because as you said, it's embracing my power, the talent, the skill, everything, and saying, so this morning, it was like saying the past is over. When I was a little girl, I needed this kind of protection to survive, but now I don't need it anymore. Not as much, not enough to paralyze me. So I just went with the current situation and delivered. And it was quite nice. Now, the thing is, one thing that helped me, I realized lately as an exercise, was to take all these words like I fear, I'm not sure, I'm insecure, and to turn it into the 15 time writing, I'm brave, I'm confident, I'm secure, I'm well prepared, and I'm unembarrassed. I took all those words and took the opposite words and turned them into a 15 time writing. And over time, it is really starting to say to that part, don't need you anymore. But you have to work at it because it's been ingrained for so long. In my case, there was a trauma attached to that. And it took a real effort into working some kind of spiritual exercise to kick it out so that I could be at the level of the service that life is wanting me to be now, and not be taken away by the past, the trauma, whatever has holding me up to this point. So it's very, so what you said really connected to me very strongly. And yes, there was a good side. I would not have probably survived if that fear at the time and that knowingness that there was, I had to be quiet and very kind in negotiating with these people, which is not necessary anymore. So yeah, so you made the realization that enough of the past, and you kind of detach from it and say, my reality is quite different, and now I'm working it from a new reality. I'm not the little girl anymore, I'm the big girl.
And, adding to that, we have the opportunity of going back, right? And give the little girl, right? The love, give the little girl the attention, give a message to the little girl, and show the little girl in the future, take a look at this. Look at what you've done. Look at what you're going to do, how you're going to help people, how you're going to grow. Look at all of these amazing things that you will accomplish because you are worthy, right? We can go back and talk with our 5-year-old self or our 10-year-old self or our 13-year-old self. We can go back and talk with them and show them the future. We can go into the past from this present and show them the present, which is their future, and help them develop the confidence, the self-love, and the sense of worthiness by showing them their future. We can also go into our future and act as if, using the already goal achieved higher self, see ourselves already succeeding in the endeavors and the goals that we have created for ourselves. And notice what we feel like, what we look like, how we act, what we're doing, and bring those things back into the present. Right? See, when we embrace the reality that time is an illusion, that past, present, and future are all happening simultaneously at different frequencies, all we need to do is tune into the frequency we want to focus on, make that a reality, and be an observer, and then also step in and make it a reality. Feel, how do I feel when I'm doing these things that are making me successful? How am I thinking? How am I feeling? How am I acting? Right? Really experience it, merge with it, and bring it here into the present. And it will change the way we think, feel, and act. Right? When we bring that. Because one thing that is a reality is when we are guided by inner guidance, when we are blessed to have wise, spiritually developed beings come and teach us and guide us, it's often 50% grace of divine beings, and it's 50% of the wisdom coming from our future already goal achieved higher self, whispering to us, showing us what's possible. So take the time to meet the future you, or the future already goal achieved higher self. Take the time to meet it. Also, serve as the already goal achieved higher self to the you of the past, and bring that love, that support, that compassion, that wisdom. Bring that into the past, right? It makes a difference in your present. Bring forgiveness into the past. So oftentimes we will feel we're not worthy of something because of something we did in the past, right? We can go back and forgive that. We can go back and say, oh, I'm going to learn from that. I have learned from that. There's no need to hold on to that experience, to hold on to guilt, right? Because in the bigger scheme of past, present, and future, we have all done just about everything to everyone, and ourselves included. And we've had just about everything done by everyone to us. And we can go back in the past, forgive ourselves, forgive everyone else, come back into the present with neutrality, love, gratitude, compassion, and service. Right? If we cultivate those things, not only will we feel confident and worthy, we will raise the level of worthiness of those around us and help support their ability for their own goal achievement and their own unfoldment and evolution in states of consciousness. So thank you, Jocelyn. And congratulations. Yeah, congratulations. Okay, Larry, I'm bringing you in the seat here.
How hot is it? Yeah.
There you are.
Hey, you asked at the beginning, what makes you feel unworthy? And for me, it's when I try the same thing up 10 million times, still can't get it quite right. And then the impatience comes in, and then the you must be an idiot kicks in, and then the spiral down starts. I counter that by noticing how much I learn each iteration. But sometimes it's a challenge. It's a real challenge.
Okay, so you're saying you've looked at the situation, you know that each time you tried, you learned something, right?
Yep.
The other opportunity is, how about trying something different?
Well, when it's something, you have to do for your employment and stuff, and it needs to get done, sometimes it's not always your choice.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, we can experiment with doing the things we have to do, but doing them differently, doing them with different planning, different time management, different organizing, different mental and spiritual and emotional preparation, and use the 3 C's: concentration, creativity, and collaboration. Right? There may be a way to work with yourself and work with others to get the thing that's not working to work, because it was meant to be done differently in order to be successful if it hasn't been successful in the past, right? If we want our world to change, we have to change. We want situations to change, we have to change. And then those things will change, right? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. And I know that, but
Of course you do.
But thank you for reminding me, because yeah, I see what you mean. Thank you.
You have the knowledge. Wisdom comes from taking the knowledge and applying it and experimenting, right? Then that becomes wisdom. You got the laboratory, you have the tools, give it a shot, right? What's the worst that can happen? Stays the same, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
You got nothing to lose and everything to gain. Why not?
Good point. Good point. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Have fun with that. Have fun with that. And then looking forward to hearing very soon your wins from that, because I know that's what happens with you.
Okay.
You try something, you see it, you do it, and you have new wins. You make it happen. So keep making it happen. Let's do it differently.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Nancy.
Hi.
Nancy, let's put you in the seat. There you are.
All right. I'm in the seat.
You are
So
in-
embracing your worthiness. A couple of thoughts on this is, one is, I don't always realize when I'm feeling unworthy. So sometimes one technique I do is I ask to see my blind spots. And I use it in the journal, like for the dream part, I use that quite a bit, because I can get complacent, kind of like what Larry was saying. I get more complacent in just the routine, and then thinking this is as good as it gets. So I'm putting a limit on love. And usually that's what it comes down to for me personally, is limiting love. And what this program has really taught me, even though I know it spiritually, it's like drilled it in, like it's limitless. And so from that perspective, I too have had childhood difficulties, as many people have. And now, I don't know if this is going to sound kind of odd, but those were wonderful opportunities. And as I go back and am grateful, forgive and am grateful, then I don't need to forget about the past. The present just becomes different, because I am no longer getting over a traumatic thing. I'm not feeling the trauma, if that makes any sense at all, and it's kind of like it's all from our benefit. From my perspective, it's all for my benefit. Nothing has happened to me that I didn't create with inner guides or God, or however you want to put it, that wasn't to help me know how loved I am. And if I'm not sensing that, then I really use the tools in this program, and I will sit down and doing my morning contemplation and say, are there tools from Mike's program that I need to be using? And almost always the answer is yes. So it helps. So, but does that make sense that sometimes you don't know you're feeling unworthy? And then I find out that's the issue. And then something like breaks open
Yes.
and more love comes like flowing in from like unbelievably, I mean, surprising places. I'm like, wow.
Yep. It really is the spiritual penicillin, you know? When you think about it, love is the spiritual penicillin. Love is, if you could only have one thing in your toolbox, think about if that one thing was love. Think about how you could apply it to every situation. If that's all you had was that one tool, right? Think about how you could apply it to whatever situation pops up. Because if we do it, if we give love to a situation, the laws of physics require it will come back. If we give compassion, it will come back, right? If we give forgiveness, it will come back, right? No matter what, we give that out, it will come back. And, you know, I believe we should always start with love. You know, it is the greatest healer. It is the greatest attractor. It is the greatest negotiator. You know, it's the greatest everything. Best tool in the toolbox, right? Everything else is a part of that, right? An aspect of how to apply it and operationalize it, right? You look at the 9 steps for those of you in the program, you can see how love is a component of every single step, right? Whether it's loving yourself by learning about yourself, right? And creating that inspirational DNA alignment, whether it's loving yourself by creating alignment and congruency with your inner resources, whether it's loving yourself by opening up to mentorship and guidance, right? Whether it's loving yourself by learning new tools, right? Whether it's loving yourself, right, by systematizing those tools. Whether it's loving yourself by learning the magnetic powers of gratitude and service, self-worthiness. Loving ourselves by taking a stand on not running away from fear, but embracing it and learning from it. It's loving ourselves to stop procrastination, right? It's loving ourselves to take massive, bold action. It's loving ourselves to turn our mess into a message, into a movement. It's loving ourselves to love and serve, right? It all comes down to love. It's a matter of operationalizing love, is what, you know, I'm trying to teach. And what, if you look deeply into this program, it's all about loving yourself, loving others, and accepting the love of the universe, whatever you want to call it, and allowing it to seep into every part of us in the past, in the present, and the future. And then allowing that already goal achieved higher self, which is made of love. It's made of love, it's made of wisdom, and it's made of unlimited freedom, right? If we can learn to dance with that part of ourselves, all of this other stuff becomes learning opportunities, but never barriers to achievement, just learning opportunities. So thank you, Nancy, for sharing that with us and helping open our eyes to the power of that. It's inspiring.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this program and to everyone for all the love.
You're very, very welcome. And you're a big part of why this program is useful. So thank you. Okay, I don't see any more hands up. So what that means is we are going to jump into breakout rooms and let you talk amongst yourselves. All right. Ready? Here they come. Grab a breakout room. Have fun. Talk more about how you work with your worthiness thing. And then we'll come back in 15 minutes. Okay, everybody's back. Welcome back. All right, we're going to close by, I'm going to ask each of you to, in one sentence, and that means one sentence. That means 2 sentences minus 1 sentence equals 1 sentence. Okay. To go around and I'll call you and you tell me what's the one thing, the most important thing you've learned tonight about worthiness that you're going to take and work with. And 1 sentence. So here we go. Let's start with Samarit. Please unmute yourself and give me the 1 sentence.
What I learned about worthiness is that I can celebrate the win, that my worthiness, my sense and alignment with my worthiness now is light years better than 9 months ago. And I celebrate that win.
Awesome. Thank you. Let's see who's next here. Bridget.
So I have decided to not dismiss compliments.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Allowing ourselves to take in compliments and take in others' recognition of our strengths and our accomplishments feeds our confidence.
Yes.
Yeah, this whole false humility thing, you know, it's not productive. It's worn out. It's passé. Let's get rid of it. Let's leave it behind.
Thank you.
Yeah, and start embracing what is coming to us. That's going to lift us up and boost our confidence. So awesome. Thank you, Bridget.
Thank you.
Let's see next, Claudette.
Don't let people lead my life that's not in harmony with my own inner wisdom.
Here, here. Thank you. Marvin.
I am confident, worthy, strong, and loving.
And you make good fertilizer. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. Mabesy.
I think it's time you went to bed, but unworthiness. What if unworthiness is an excuse?
Okay. Randy. Randy, what's the one thing you learned? You need to unmute.
I just told you, but nobody heard it. I'm looking where I am now, having moved beyond the self-limiting beliefs that allow me to follow my heart to where it is that I was always prepared for.
Thank you. Awesome. Follow that heart. Larry.
There we go. How we perceive ourselves may be a truth, but definitely not the whole one.
Do you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you?
Yeah.
So help you.
I
Awesome.
feel all the time.
There you go. All right. Thank you.
We need.
Yep. We do. Jojo.
I am worthy, and I just need to live in the moment, embrace and love the past and the future.
Beautiful. Thank you. I think I might have cut off Leah. Leah, did you want to share something? Could you, Larry, could you unmute so Leah did she want to say? Did I cut her off? I'm sorry.
No, you didn't cut me off.
Okay.
I just was glad to talk to you.
And I'm glad you're glad.
Thank you.
It's great to have you with us.
Glad to be here.
All right. We'll keep the light on for you.
Thank you. I think I've heard that term
Motel
before.
Yeah. All right. Jocelyn.
Okay. One thing I gathered from the past month was I am not the fear. I'm something else beyond that fear. And so I can embrace my power, my talents, my skills, my knowledge, and the opportunities coming. Just remember, the fear is coming from another place and it's not you. Let it.
Learn from it and put it to work for yourself.
Say so. Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. Thank you. Nancy.
It's always about love.
It is the Alpha and the Omega. It is the beginning and the never ending. Yep. If we have that, we have everything we need. And if we feel we don't have it, then start giving it. And then we will definitely have it come back to us. So either way, it's going to be there. We already had you. So I think we have everybody. Tracy and Luna are here. And one of the things they've discovered is it's daylight savings time.
Yes, the hard way. Luna and I had an experience today. We went to go to a restaurant and found out it was busy. And this was early, this was 4 o'clock. So we went to the dog park and we learned that you can find love in unexpected places. And we went to the dog park and we found Luna's sibling. This is Kennebunk, Maine, and she was born in Camden, Maine. So today, little Luna found a playmate her size, who she's not just a little afraid of her, but she was able to find family in an unexpected place. Had we gone to dinner at 4 o'clock, we would not have met her playmate. So that taught me that you just have to go with the flow, be open, and you'll find love and be able to give love in unexpected places and times.
Wow. What a wonderful way to end tonight's session. Thank you, Tracy and Luna. Okay. Well, thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you for everything that you've shared. Thank you for your time, your attention, and your love. I love you all. I am grateful for you all. And I am really looking forward to seeing you next time. And just, keep doing what you're doing. Keep being who you are. Keep striving for a little bit of greater excellence each day, a little bit of improvement each day. But just keep going. Never stop. Keep going and keep shining. More than ever, the world needs you shining. More than ever, the world needs your consciousness seeping into the rest of the consciousness that's out there. So keep doing what you're doing. Love you all. I will see you next time. Have a good night, and I'm going to bed.